Well, I'm actually just here to tell you about ISPaD, the project itself, and we'll have Mr. Hyman, Jay Hyman, also known as Jay Kaku by myself, tell you about what today's event is. Well, the ISPaD project, our aim is to make the masses aware of the existence of it's a hole in the history of the Indian subcontinent, and then if nothing is done, then an entire era could be lost, and the pains of partition could be lost with it. Not being able to adequately abbreviate neither the full extent of partition's impact, nor provide an acceptable abbreviation of the impetus that Dr. Shuvo Dastidar engagement in an intellectual pursuit that spawned the Indian Subcontinent Partition Documentation Project. We'll just say that ISPaD's purpose is to preserve the history of Indian partition. There's basically four foci, or however it's pronounced properly. One is documentation of the history of the Indian partition, including conducting interviews for preservation of the first-hand preservation of oral history, as well as for, there's conventional research using books and so forth. Two, it's documentation of the present-day effects of Indian partition. Three is, with all of social media that's out there, we have to make sure we maintain ISPaD's presence on various social media, and there's a new one popping up every day. I still don't know what a hashtag is, but I make sure that ISPaD has a Twitter account. And then four is something like today, which is coordination and planning of, we're trying to do it monthly, but it would be an event that either educates people about Indian culture, or there's other things which are a vessel for people to use to either learn about things that are relevant to Indian people. And that being said, I'd like to introduce Jay Kaku, also known as Mr. Jay Hyman. He's going to speak a little about taxes, and that's what today's event is. So, Mr. Jay Kaku. Jay Hyman.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon.
I've been given the pleasure to introduce two speakers today, two eminent CPAs, Mr. Gopal Patel and Mr. Sanjoy Augustine. When I was asked to do this presentation, and it had to do with tax tips, the first thing that came to my mind was a quote by Benjamin Franklin, which includes the phrase, "But in this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes." I just happen to be a social worker, so I'll be the expert in the death part and grieving, etc. But that's not why we're here today. That may be a future discussion. Today we're going to be talking about taxes, and everybody knows a filing date is coming up. Right?
Soon.
Right?
Soon, April 15th.
So,